America Kenny na mede SML deal no ho nsembrel asema OSP ba out be kan eno na nkofo say OSP press conference sheshi a wabe ya se ne sen or is it because of allegations say free attorney general Hoba say o ma tro letters about sa wa sheda no delay eminti na ode moja hye ababe press conference din we e kan SML ho asem ani ade na okikan wie no President John Dramani Mahama has ordered that any contract that Ghana has with SML has to be terminated. Yen cancel contracts because of investigation. Office of the Special Prosecutor say why. This is FMS Strengths, and here we give you the latest updates on issues. My name is Maureen Marshall, and you can call me the Information Minister. I'm here to serve you all the tea. Na yentwaso President John Dramani Mahama atro letter akoma eye Finance Minister Dr. Casey Atta na letter na President John Dramani Mahama Troyen. It was signed by his secretary Dr. Callistus Mahama. Dr. Callistus Mahama ne signed and it was addressed to the Finance Minister Dr. Casey Atta say any contract the Republic of Ghana Umofia country ya yetimisisiye. We have it with SML yen cancel no because of investigations Attorney General aye na investigations no so sound so prove say state agencies ne provide services na SML for ne say or be providing state agencies need provided that so there was no need for Ghana to sign a contract with SML and Andra maybe church the SML yeni ni na mutrel go through our page and you're going to see all the videos there. Asema Attorney General Bekan press conference ni munyama. So SML a strategic mobilization entrepreneurship limited almost audit and including taxes ni nyama nte contract crampwa omuni GRA assigning Ghana Revenue Authority. Into President John Dramani Mahama, that say, yen cancel mini na, or made or my sikanibia, but SML also my press release be say, or would deny say they've never done anything wrong, all their activities, name your mom lawful, yes, and namma paso pepe, or moon we are Ghana sika, or moon fashe, and they don't have any political affiliation. Moka say OSP beka say no. OSP ka say Ken Ofori Atta ne create SML. Nature say Ken ewo share and I say media. Inti SML for any press release babontin almost say they don't have any political affiliation. Inti asemna Office of the Special Prosecutor being headed by Kisi Amebin ekan no enya no kre. Kisi Ajebin, yes. Ebeka and Enyanokre, they are not affiliated to any political figure or any political ties. In Sisasam Nedi or Munjintum. Until the Uncle President President John Dramani Mahama no. Asam no kind with the Uncle in church remove the Ntiana Ghana yen yasa contract.
For more Monte, breaking story about President John Dramani Mahama has directed the immediate termination of all contracts between the government of Ghana and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, following the conclusion of an investigation by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. This directive was contained in a letter signed by the Secretary to the President, Dr. Callistus Mahama, and addressed to the Minister of Finance, Dr. Casey Atta. The letter instructed the Finance Minister to take immediate steps to end all existing agreements involving SML. The OSP recently concluded its investigation into the revenue assurance contract between SML and the Ghana Revenue Authority, which examined issues related to alleged procurement irregularities, contractual overreach, and value for money concerns. According to findings shared by the Special Prosecutor, Mr. Kisia Jebeng, at a press conference in Accra yesterday, the investigation revealed that there was no genuine need for engaging SML for the services it purported to perform. The contracts, he said, were secured through self-serving official patronage, sponsorship, and promotion based on false and unverified claims. Meanwhile, the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited has denied any wrongdoing, insisting that its operations were lawful, transparent, and beneficial to the state. In a statement issued today, SML said, quote, it had fully cooperated with all lawful investigations, unquote, and called for public discussions to be grounded in verified fact rather than speculation. Quote, we will present all relevant documents before the appropriate authorities. We remain proud of the work done, the controls that governed it, and the measurable value created for Ghana, unquote, said the company's lead counsel. SML maintained that it is a wholly Ghanaian-owned company with no political affiliations and that its contract with the GRA was structured under a risk and reward framework to enhance national revenue mobilization through measurable results. According to the company, its services, including transaction audits, external price verification, and downstream petroleum measurement, were performed under GRA supervision, with payments made only after results were independently verified. The decision to terminate the SML contract follows the Ghana Revenue Authority's action in May 2024 when it complied with directives from the former President Akufo-Addo to terminate the transaction audit and external verification service contract with SML. The GRA also suspended the upstream petroleum and minerals revenue audit component of the agreement, pending a comprehensive review of the contract details. Additionally, the authority announced plans to amend the measurement audit for the downstream petroleum products contract by converting it to a fixed fee structure. GRA further indicated that it would conduct a detailed review of other provisions of the contract, including service delivery expectations, termination clauses, and intellectual property rights. In the following suspension of the agreement, and the OSP in Swahili detailed investigation, on conclusions about Betruja, and Omanpenyi Ejina OSP Ejumo Mayeneso say yes, the contract was suspended, but I feel yen chemokra in now all contract between GRA and by extension the Ministry of Finance and SML have all been terminated based on statement of free presidency. Abba SML in Swahili show almost statement and opaya omono still insist say omofa go through due process of law. And the year honorable
Mashenini na from Asempa FM and or church mu dientia Ghana ni ehia SML contract no any dientia President John Dramani Mahama actual letter and the secretary Callistus Mahama assigning being addressed to the finance minister Dr. Casey Latoforsen say Ghana sika ne bia fa baby yempon kra March over March na ended. Now, what I said, I'm saying, Alan Tramatin Bete Party, a movement for change, I know, Sasano call, UP, United Party. Now, UP no, Sasakoeno, or more spokesperson, why? Your friend is Solomon Usu, Mr. Asemba Munyabotre. Now, what blasting Kenoforiata OSP, just say, about the SML deal, they say, now, Modena Moyo minus are. Moya ye UP for ye the Tatashiva be Joe Mino. Oh, yes.
The OSP has up the game.
Why? What do you mean?
He said they themselves.
The SM, those that have been accused, they know that monies are missing. You understand? Because the point is that Ken Ofori, as the former finance minister, has run away from the country. Nobody does anything good and runs away. This is a land of his mouth.
Why is he went for medical attention?
When was the last time you had a briefing on it that the Mayo Clinic is saying that he's going to recover in October or December? They have stopped briefing us. Nobody is briefing us again. My difficulty with the SML, and I've said it on public countless occasions, that if you look at how MPA operates with the ERDMS, that's the Enterprise Relational Database Management System, how it is linked to the ICOMS, nobody born under the sun can convince me that we needed another entity called revenue assurance. Now, indeed, if you go back and check the documentary that was done by Manas Azuri, this morning I took my time to watch it back, and you listen to Christian Soti, the general manager, I don't know whether he said the manager of SML. Mm-hmm. Clearly, you could see that the company, the stated objectives of the company was not what they were pursuing. One, they said they were going in for what? To discover underreporting, diversion, and dilution. When he was posed the question, are you involved? I said, no, we are not into that. We are not into diversion, we are not into underreporting, we are not into dilution. So if you are not into underreporting, on what basis were you assuring us of any revenue? On what basis? Now, if you know the petroleum sector very well, the point that you can actually estimate how much tax is due the state is, what do you call it, the sales point, the pumps, where we all buy fuel. Once again, when they were asked, where do you, as it were, place your meters, they said at the depot. At the depot, who establishes how much is paid to the state? Because at the depot, it has not been sold to the general public. Mm-hmm. So for me, this whole thing comes back to what we have been doing, like what we did in the Kenny GVG, the system, the telecommunications sector was not having any problems, but someone had to chop. So they had to create a system there in the name of revenue assurance. You go to the NITI, Smart Infraco. Someone has to create something there. Then at the end of the day, we lose out on some of these things. When Soti again was asked, have you been able to save this country of 3 billion? He said, no, we have not saved anything. We have not saved any country, this country, any such amount. And that he has nothing to do with the website. A general manager of a company tells us that he does not even know how much they charge the state. Yes, so what was he managing? And that is my difficulty with this transaction. So if the Office of the Special Prosecutor is saying that he's closing in on, we are here. Though I don't believe that anything will come out of it. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Why do you say you don't believe anything? He's indicated he's going to charge.
He has been indicated since what? He's going to charge.
He's done extensive investigation.
Between 2018 till date, we have expended close to $1 billion on that office. How much have you recovered from that office? Even when we saw millions of dollars under the bed of Cecilia Dapa, that matter turned into beans.
How do you say it's turned into beans?
Cecilia Dapa, the money was physical.
But that case is not dead. It's an active case.
Oh, it's dead. When we asked Cecilia Dapa where they got the money, we heard Admochi tell us that the brother died and the funeral was so big that they could rake in that money. We have been in this country where people have told us this.
This is an active case in court.
Which one?
So why are you saying it's dead?
Oh, when was the last I heard anything about it?
The fact that we don't have update doesn't mean the case.
So the point is that I don't have any trust or confidence in this OSP and the office. At best, that office must be scrapped. With this budgetary allocation given to the Attorney General, if the Attorney General is unable to recruit more lawyers, by virtue of that, he could recruit more qualified lawyers to help the state. And rather than what we are doing, small time, when we push him small on Kenneth Reactor, the next thing you hear is press conference, just to come and weather the storm. Then you go and sit back like a month. When he hears that there's pressure, then he can. When all of us know that Kenneth Reactor must be in this country. We are talking about the National Cathedral. How much did he spend? We are talking about PDS. How much did he spend there? Well, he has borrowed. He led this country to borrow $13.5 billion. You understand? The man says he won't come back to the country. The last time you heard something from him was through the wife, that the husband was doing okay and that he was going to come. So what are we doing? Well, so please.
She said he was walking gingerly and was recovering. After the surgery.
That man is very fit. When you get to Washington, he's chilling everywhere.
Have you seen him?
I saw a beautiful picture of him. He has not denied. None of his lawyers have denied. When this matter started, his lawyers started issuing letters every day. They were giving a daily update.
No, but if you make a emphatic statement that he's somewhere chilling.
As we are speaking, he's watching us through a pseudo account.
How do you know this? How do you know
He must come home and let it deal with ourselves.
Martin,
according to Manasseh Azuri, someone here know according to Manasseh Azuri, the contract between Ghana and SML na a breachy law. Yes, it's Yamra and as also breachy common sense. Let us say omo sign a contract in the BB and no meaning say the Ghana council still they went ahead and they signed the contract. It's also no party. So our contract here almost sign ye a breachy law, a breachy yamra ya constitution a die anima ye mate me kan. And a sansu a breachy common sense. Nature sa drain and yedjuma. Once I drain in yedjuma, body ne bread, bottom no so bread, Ghana bottom bread. Hey, Rade. Ghana sika fa na bi modi ni say. Nti Manasseh Azuri say on the on cash you. The nimane sad no a breachy law and a breachy common sense.
Started having an interest in this matter when there were reports that some oil marketing companies, and by oil marketing companies, I mean those who sell to us at the fuel pumps, they lift the petroleum products from the depots, and every liter that you lift, there are tax components on the tax and revenue components. Some go to the GRA, others go to the MPA. So you are supposed to sell, take your margins, pay the owner of the petroleum product, and then give the tax component to the government. But many of these shady OMCs often absconded after selling and then making their profit. So systems started getting in place. And one of the systems was something they call the Enterprise Relational Database Management System, ERDMS, which is a platform, an online platform, which ensures that if anybody wants to load a petroleum product anywhere in this country, whether you are loading gasoline or diesel from Tema, Bupe, Kumasi, or Takrade, you go onto this system and then place the order. This order will be vetted by the MPA and the GRA. So if you loaded your previous one and then you were due to bring the money to the state and you have not paid, you'll be blocked out from loading again. This system is linked to the customs system, which they call ICOMS. And also it records the volumes that are lifted at the various depots. And if you go to every depot in this country, you would have customs officials there. So they have the keys to the depots. So if the owner of the petroleum product is there and the buyers are there and then you don't have the GRA officials, customs officials, that they will not lift. Then there was an issue of diversion, which was often cheated, or people cheated the system using the UPPF system. That ensures that a liter of petroleum product in Accra sells the same as the price in Bolga, because there is a system to flatten out transportation cost. So some would load and claim that they are going to discharge in Bolga and end up discharging in Sawam, but taking the amount that should have accrued if they had taken the product to Bolga. So the MPA introduced a tracking system. So if you go to the MPA today and anybody loads petroleum products in any tanker, an electronic seal is placed on that vehicle, so that if you don't get your destination and you tamper with the seal, it sends an automatic alarm to the MPA. Your location is detected and you can be arrested. So if you go to the MPA today, you will see live tracking of vehicles that are in Burkina Faso, Mali, Eastern region, everywhere in this country. So that is checking the diversion. And they brought fuel marking system, also another company, to check the dilution of petroleum products. So all these systems were put in place to ensure that the state's interest is protected, and then the revenue that is due us is collected. In our investigation, we asked the GRA officials, head of Petroleum, Mr. Samson Enim, who said that with the ERDMS, it ensures that the GRA is able to track its volumes. And once you're able to track your volumes, you're able to collect the appropriate taxes. Besides all of these, we found out that another company by name SML, now we know that it used to be SMEL, smell, and perhaps they didn't like the smell of it, so they changed it to SML, which has still not taken the smell away anyway. But this company claimed to be doing under the checking under declaration, diversion, dilution, and it stated these functions on its website. That this,
you know, in government has a money handle Ghana BBI gang for no. Na Bawumia na the head of the economic team. Aye. Ghana sika semnya de adini na Bawumia na head. Mwamunim say he's into economics. Na as SML deal yin sensem yibaye. Nkofo bonidi. Una na your head. Omo sign deal no way hu. Echese ensemi de bebre. Entemina senior hosi who is a finance and economics policy analyst. Eka say Dr. Mahama Bawumia had nothing to do with the deal. Inti omo boni di den Dr. Bawumia and omo yewe hu no. Munye careful ho. Cause Dr. Bawumia had nothing to do with the SML deal. Inti no munye ni din fio according to senior hosi.
It's an embarrassing matter. It was the policy case for SML. Interesting, was built on my work.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the fact of
your
it.
work at
the Seaboard.
Okay, at Seaboard.
I was responsible for I was publishing. I mean, the Seaboard was publishing the Petroleum Industry Reports, and I was the chief editor, and I led the analysis for evaluating the tax leakages, because there's a lot of illegality happening within the petroleum sector. One had to do with quality breaches, also the other had to do with revenue breaches. We distorted market pricing and all that. So we had a need to look into it. And consistently, we were reporting on an annual basis a huge negative delta. The first report, I think, came in 2017 against 2016's performance. And we had to make presentations to EMT a number of times. It was very easy to solve, in our opinion. I think that DMB, Dr. Bawumia, and I commend him very much for it. And it's quite one of my disappointments with Ken Ofori Atta. I think that if your government at the time had worked well with the vice president and you had given him a proper place, a lot of these things wouldn't have happened. If DMB would be honest, he told me straight in my face that he was embarrassed by this arrangement. And we discussed it.
He did not like what was happening.
Of course. Bawumia he didn't sign up to this. This is a pure Ken Ofori Atta matter. Ken Akori and the SML guy, Evans, what's his name? Eduse. Frankly, interesting enough, his name never shows up. You people should stop chasing, what's that man's name? The former Soti. You should stop. Soti is a worker. He doesn't own SML. He's a worker. He's a staff. He's an old man worker.
What about...
The real face you should go and look for is Evans Eduse.
Who is he?
He is the owner.
So this
was a private person.
And so I'm just, but when the people keep talking about SML,
but a director has to be held responsible.
I'm telling you that Soti is a worker. It's a worker in the front. So it's not any. You abuse Soti unfairly. This scheme. Let me finish my matter. People don't understand what has happened, and I apologize to my brother Manasseh. He wanted a lot of information from me when he was doing his work. I was constrained cooperating with him because at the time I was leaving the chamber, I think, and we were setting up to give GRA a service to solve that problem. You know, so if I if I went ahead to speak about it, it would have been a bit of some sour grapes or something, which, and you know, when we were doing our solutions, we didn't have anything to do. We didn't even think of SML at all. Another interesting fact, I was part of the team that edited Ken Ofori's speech going to launch SML.
Really?
Yes.
You are complicit.
I'm not complicit. I will explain. I mean, I have to put out the facts there so you contextualize my place in this conversation.
You are declaring your interest.
This is what happens. I published this report and I said Ghana is losing so much money. And it's not too difficult to find. As a petroleum sector, we have a data repository that sits at the NPA. All right? This data repository can be used as a basis for validating actual transactions because the NPA pays monies against this thing to other service providers. So if NPA is able to pay against 10, you should be able to know what GRA2 should get. Because NPA cannot be paying people a bill against 10 and GRA is collecting revenue against 6 or 7. So it is a very simple thing to calculate. Everybody here, if I teach you, you will know how to do it. Then there's another part that gets a little technical, where the volumes that come into the country are not fully accounted for. Yeah. So that one also becomes a leakage.
Mo Dr. Mahama Bawumia din bebrebe no. Mo answer ni. Yeso onim ho hwe enti no. Mo ni medin enfri assembly. Take his name out of the matter. This is FMS Trends, and here we give you the latest updates. I hope you enjoyed this update. I who said press conference nini na from him, but nini na any President John Dramani Mahama ansem nini na eli aye ni say abone tofane ye dia bro no. My name is Maureen Michelle. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. O subscription who here and na o comments who here. What do you think about this whole SML deal? All the videos that we played, we don't own rights to them. No copyright infringement intended. Thank you.